Welcome to Women Mastering Midlife, where we dive deep into the rich complexities of womanhood in our middle years. I'm your host, Victoria Bird, a pharmacist, certified women's health coach, and your guide on this transformative journey. Whether you're navigating perimenopause, thriving in menopause, or mastering midlife's many transitions, this is your weekly dose of expert guidance, compassionate support, and a judgment-free space to explore it all. Together, we will rewrite the narrative around this remarkable stage from being something to dread into a beautiful transition. Hi there and welcome back. I'm your host, Victoria Bird, and today we're diving into something that so many of us feel but rarely say out loud. Midlife is so damn exhausting. I don't know about you, but I was not prepared for this stage of life. No one told us what to expect. For many of us, there wasn't even a conversation about it. Instead, we were left to figure it out on our own while the world gaslit us, brushed off our symptoms, and said, we're just getting older, or it's probably just some stress. So we scrambled for answers, desperate to feel better, only to be met with conflicting advice, uneducated doctors, misrepresented research. And then, when people realized they could make money off of our struggles, the midlife and menopause industry exploded into a multi-million, no billion-dollar business. Suddenly, we were bombarded with messaging about what we should be doing. Hormones will give you cancer. If you want natural solutions, you're a woo-woo hippie. Test your hormones. Wait, don't test your hormones. What even is bioidentical? Is it safer? Is it better? Or is it just another marketing ploy? Testosterone? That's not for women. And even if you find a doctor who will prescribe it, brace yourself for the shame you might face at the pharmacy counter. But it's not just the hormones. We're told to hit 10,000 steps a day, preferably wearing a weighted vest, drink 100 ounces of water, eat 125 grams of protein, get 25 grams of fiber, cut out alcohol, avoid sugar, and stay away from processed food. And don't forget, make it all from scratch. Then there's exercise. One study will say too much cardio is bad. It raises your cortisol, harms your joints, and leaves you more exhausted than energized, while another insists we need cardio for heart health, especially in midlife when our cardiovascular risk increases. Don't forget yoga or Pilates for stress relief, flexibility, and joint support. Oh, and of course, strength train 5 days a week to build muscle mass, maintain bone density, and keep your metabolism humming. How does the overwhelmed midlife woman fit it all in? How do we make space for all these shoulds while raising kids, running a house, managing a career, and functioning on no sleep because our hormones are throwing nightly temper tantrums? It's all so fucking exhausting. And here's the part that really gets me. We were the generation that was told we could be anything we wanted to be. Astronaut, CEO, and a PTA president? Sure. Do it all and do it perfectly, but don't ask for help. Meanwhile, our male counterparts were taught to make room for us in the workplace, but no one told them they'd also need to pick up 50% of the responsibilities at home. And so here we are, carrying the load of housewife, mom, and CEO all on our backs. But at what cost? How much of our time, energy, and joy has been spent trying to shrink ourselves, counting calories, over-exercising, obsessing over every flaw just to stay acceptable in a society that doesn't value aging women? How much have we sacrificed, not just physically, but emotionally? Staying small has robbed us of so much: our confidence, our creativity, our ability to fully embrace who we are. I was just talking the other day with a midlife mom. She's a business owner, divorced, raising kids as a single mom. She told me how overwhelming it feels to try to keep it all together. She said, you have to look like you're holding it all together, even when you're falling apart. And I felt that deeply. And I'm sure there are many women out there who feel the same way. The overwhelm can feel suffocating. You're juggling a million things, getting the kids to their endless activities, running a business, managing a house, co-parenting. And if you're single, there's the added stress of trying to date again, because let's face it, midlife dating, as I've heard, is its own special kind of exhausting. We laughed about it and chuckled and kind of downplayed the severity of our conversation. But the truth is, The expectation to do it all perfectly, to stay small, and to never let the cracks show is crushing. Here's the thing that I have learned in my years of dealing with midlife women. We need to give ourselves permission to rest. You don't have to carry the weight of the world on your shoulders every single day. It's okay to put things down. It's okay to step away from the shoulds and ask yourself, what do I need right now? Rest isn't laziness, it's restoration. It's how we rebuild and show up for the things that matter most to us. So what's the solution? How do we balance it all without driving ourselves into the ground? In my practice, I work with clients to take a step back and ask, what feels right for you? What physical activity do you love that you can add to your weekly routine? What nutrition changes are feasible in your life? How strict of a diet and exercise plan do you even want to follow? I'll be honest, back in my 30s, if you gave me a laid out plan with exact foods and workouts, I would have gotten it all done. I wanted to completely transform my body composition, and I did. But I was starving, I was exhausted, and I was still left chasing a constantly moving target. Because I will tell you, at my smallest weight, at my most lean self, I still wasn't happy with my body. So now I no longer want to do that. And neither do many of my clients. Regardless of what society is saying we want and what social media influencers are saying we should want. But here's the thing. When I get down to it and talk to most women, what do they want? They want to strengthen their bones and muscles to stay independent as they age. They want to enjoy dinner dates with friends and not have guilt about what they ordered. They want to sip champagne or Mai Tai on a beach guilt-free, knowing that alcohol will wreck their sleep and it's not good for us. But you know what? It's all about balance. By listening to yourself, your intuition, your body, your desires, you'll know the kind of health journey you're willing to go on. And when you approach it from that place of alignment, the cost then feels worth it. But this brings me to something I feel deeply about. I think it's time that we rebrand menopause. Yes, there are physical symptoms that may plague us along the way, the hot flashes, the brain fog, the sleepless nights. But let's not let that define us. Let's embrace this time with our wisdom and experiences and find the joy that can come from this part of life. Think about all the midlife, incredible women out there, starting businesses, taking on new ventures, writing books, traveling the world, holding political offices. Let's be inspired by them. Let's create solid, authentic friendships with women who are in the thick of it with us. Let's build each other up. I'm tired of the high school drama, the name calling, the tearing each other down. Let's decide in this stage of life, we are going to find friends who will laugh alongside us. They will hold us up when we're crying, maybe even cry with us or get angry for us. Are you standing in front of your mirror, barely recognizing the woman looking back at you? Perhaps you're lying awake at 3 a.m., body betraying you with another hot flash or night sweat, wondering if this is just how life has to be now. As a pharmacist and women's health coach, I've walked this path, both personally and alongside hundreds of women just like you. That's why I've created 2 powerful ways to reclaim your midlife journey: the Women Mastering Midlife community and personalized one-on-one coaching. In our community, you'll find your tribe, women who understand exactly what you're experiencing. Together, we'll navigate perimenopause and menopause with evidence-based strategies, twice monthly group coaching sessions, and a judgment-free space to share your story. But if you're craving deeper, personalized support, my one-on-one coaching program offers dedicated guidance tailored specifically to your body, your symptoms, and your life circumstances. No more Googling at midnight, no more trial and error with miracle solutions that leave you frustrated and depleted. Are you ready to transform your midlife experience? Book a free discovery call with me today. You will find the link to schedule in the show notes or check out www.womenmasteringmidlifecoaching.com for more information. In just 15 minutes, we'll explore whether community membership or one-on-one coaching aligns best with your needs. Because you deserve to do more than just survive this transition. You deserve to thrive. Join us in aging boldly, beautifully, and on our own terms. I want a community of women that will fiercely go to the mat for each other. And here's something. Sometimes I wonder. So I'm a bit of a conspiracy theorist every now and then. And when I go into the rabbit holes, I go deep. And I was thinking about why women feel that they are invisible, that they are irrelevant around this stage of life. And I don't know if it's because, they say that studies show that the age of 50 is a hard time, but I think that those studies are on men because women are coming into their own. And this is the time when our ovaries have stopped making estrogen, which I do think, and I do want to go into this rabbit hole a little further in an episode, but I do think that the estrogen our ovaries produce make us incredible caretakers, incredible multitaskers, incredible mothers and tenders, and all the caring, loving things that make us female. I totally agree. I believe that with my heart. But I also think that when the estrogen stops is when our brain finally clicks off of the tend and nurture and care for others and starts to have space for, what do I like? What do I want to do? Who do I want to be? And so I'm wondering if the old tired image of menopause, that hot flash, crazy, irrational, screaming sitcom woman, I'm wondering if that tired image of menopause as a time of decline was created to hold us back. Because let me tell you, I firmly believe midlife women can be a formidable opponent if the need arises to go to the mat. This is our time. A time to decide what we love, how we want to spend our energy, and how to live authentically, fueled by the wisdom and experiences that we've gained. Midlife doesn't have to be about exhaustion. It can be about empowerment. It can be about releasing the pressure, rejecting the expectations, and giving ourselves permission to rest, to grow, and to take up space. And I think if we set aside what everyone out there is telling us we should do, how we should lose weight, how we should stay healthy, how we should eat, how we should exercise. If we dropped all of that and listened to ourselves, knowing what it would take to get to point A, B, C, and deciding which route is the route we want to go. I mean, there's a benefit cost ratio to everything. And I read an article about the price of leanness, and it really hit a chord with me. And I started thinking about all of the sacrifices that need to be made to shrink. Are those things that are worth it? And would I be less exhausted if I wasn't trying to do every single thing I possibly could do to thrive? As a wellness coach, influencer, whatever you want to call me, is it my place to live by example and show you the perfect wellness journey? The exercising every day, the stretching, the meditating, the journaling, the clean nutrition, cutting alcohol, wearing my weighted vest, getting all my sleep, taking my multivitamins, taking my probiotics. Like, is it my job to show you all of this? Like, this is my day in the life routine. Or is it my job to say to you, you know what? I know a lot about midlife journey. I know a lot about the hormonal changes. I know a lot of options. I know a lot of routes we could take. But I'm here to basically be the map. I am the unrolled map on the counter, and I'm going to show you every which direction you can go. And it's up to you to pick your destination and the route you want to go. Do you want to go as the bird flies, shortest amount of time? Do you want to say to me, Vicki, help me get to losing this midsection fluff, sleeping, but I want all of it and I want it now. And I would say to you, okay, well, we have to fly pretty high to get there that fast. Or do you want to say, you know what? I want to be an independent, active 70, 80-year-old. I want to be a grandma that can pick up their grandkids and play on the floor with them. But I also want to go to happy hour with a girlfriend once a month, and I want to not exercise every single day. And I like eating Mexican food and having a margarita once in a while. And I'm willing to say that my body may not be toned. My body might have a little extra cushion. I may not sleep so well on the days if I have that margarita. But you know what? My journey is more important to me than the destination. And so that's what it means to master midlife on our terms. I think I'm going to leave on this point. I think I'm going to step down off my soapbox. And I want you to take from this episode, how does it make you feel? Does it create a visceral, angry response in your body when you think about how the women in our generation were raised on teen, cosmopolitan, and Vogue, and don't have a belly pooch, and always be, play small, and don't get in the way, and don't raise your hand to ask questions, or don't answer questions that might make other people feel less than if you're smart and if you get it, and do all the things and do them perfectly and never ask for help. Does that get you angry? Because it really gets me angry. And it also makes me hopeful, because I think that we are raising a generation of women to not tolerate that. We are raising a generation of women to wear clothes they want to wear, regardless of if they have a perfectly flat stomach, which is complete nonsense, by the way. Like, you have a uterus, your body will not be flat, but it's okay. Don't get me started. We are raising a generation of women that are saying, I want to have this career, and I want to have a family, and I want a spouse that backs me up. His job isn't any more important than my job. His career path isn't reason for me to step back and let mine go, but also allowing space for the women who choose to stay home with their families, who say having a one-income home that might be financially sacrificing. We may not have some things that we could have if we both worked, but this is important to me. Standing alongside them and allowing them the space to do that without judgment or shame or the, oh, it must be nice comments. I hope that are things that we are setting in play for the next generation of women. But in the meantime, see, I still go back to taking care of the kids, right? But now is the time to think of ourselves. Now is the time to be self-centered. It's not selfish to be self-centered in some of your choices. So let's do this together. Let's rewrite what it means to master midlife. Let's rebrand menopause. Let's know that there are some days that are exhausting, and that menopause fatigue, perimenopause fatigue, is brutal. And physiologically, it happens and some people experience fatigue way more than others. But on days like that, give yourself permission to rest. It's okay. Put it down. Imagine what we could do if we were all well rested. Thank you for tuning in to this episode of Women Mastering Midlife. If this episode resonated with you, share it with a friend who might need to hear it. And remember, small changes can make a big difference. We will be back next week for another episode of Women Mastering Midlife. Until then, find us on Instagram at Women Mastering Midlife, or my Instagram account, Miss Victoria Bird, and join us in the Women Mastering Midlife community to share and continue our discussions. We'd love to hear from you. Please rate and review the podcast to help us reach more women mastering midlife just like you. You'll find links to what you've learned here today, as well as ways to connect with us in the show notes below.